Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock. Wow, what a difference a day makes in Colorado. Welcome to Friday here. Snow is starting to fall in some parts of the metro already this morning as we take a live look from Red Rocks, where a lot of events were scheduled this weekend. We are in the middle of a major weather shift.
Yeah, there is still one graduation planned for Red Rocks this morning at 9 a.m. Evergreen High School. Hope they're ready for that. Yeah. It was like summer yesterday.
It was.
And now we're back to this winter weather. Snow and rain. We want to get to it all here.
Near 90 degrees yesterday. Yes. We have team coverage on this Denver 7 Weather Action Day, starting, of course, with meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo. As much as you warned us about this, we're just not prepared for this dramatic of a shift at this time of year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping we were so wrong, but it's snowing as we speak, and you can see some of the alerts now going into effect today. Areas in pink, now a winter storm warning. Areas here in blue, this teal color, these are going to be freeze warnings. So cold weather on the way. Right now we're at close to near 40, 38 to about 40 degrees. A little colder to the north near Fort Collins. We're going to take a closer look at that radar. I'm going to zoom into some neighborhoods here coming up, but I want to show you some of the new projected snowfall totals with this. Again, a lot's going to melt as soon as it hits the ground, but for the metro area, likely around 3 to 6 inches. Heavier for the Palmer Divide. Quite a bit more for the mountains where it is coming down right now. Up and through Rocky Mountain National Park, it looks like winter up there and it feels like it. Wind shifted yesterday. You probably felt the cold front roll through. We had a lot of dust kick up across parts of northern Colorado. We're going to see wind speeds this morning at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. And take a look at our fresh air forecast. We're going to be right around 40, but then that's going to slowly start to drop. It'll get colder as the day goes on. So when it comes to covering your plants, I would do it before you leave for work this morning. There's a good chance we could be down to near freezing in some neighborhoods by about 5, 6 o'clock tonight.
And right now we have some winter driving conditions up to the north. Up in Wyoming, it is really nasty up that way. This is actually just south of the Colorado-Wyoming state line. You can see how much snow we have stuck to the ground and or the grass, and the bridges might be a little bit slushy as at the northern areas right now. But you can see at 144th we're wet, down at 96 at I-76 we're wet, up in Boulder we're wet. Take a look at the other quad split, and I'll get to this in just a second. But you can see the other wet conditions around town, including into downtown and I-70, the west side. 270 right now is closed down on that eastbound side, and that's from a nasty crash between York and Vasquez. So all traffic is stopped right there. So the better way to get around it is staying on I-25 and then using I-70 to get out to the east side, because the map just can't handle how much traffic is just stopped in there right now. And so with the emergency responders helping out, I-25 and I-70 is the better option. Tour from the airport, it looks okay, but we do have some delays out there at the airport and already some flight cancellations. Security wait time 20 to 30 minutes.
Already busy out there this morning. Take it easy. Plan ahead if you're hitting the road today. They certainly will look a lot different than what we're used to this time of year. Areas above 7,500 feet could see a little snow this morning.
Now we sent Denver 7's Jessica Crawford out to Genesee, where you can already see the fog there. Jessica, how are the conditions changing there?
Absolutely. That is really probably the biggest thing out here is the fog right now. Definitely, Jason touched on it. Y'all touched on it a little bit earlier. But for people who are making their way out here, that's definitely something that you're going to want to pay attention to, because not only is it foggy, but the roads are getting pretty slick as well. I'm going to step back and just give you a look right now at just what it looks like on I-70, if you can see it beyond that fog. So as we were making our way here from Denver, probably around 4:30 or so, you could really start to see the rain picking up. We're seeing lots of small droplets. It's already much colder, so just a huge change, you guys, here within the last 30 minutes or so. Again, wanting to reiterate for those on the road, take it slow, be extremely cautious in this fog and in this just wet weather as well. Live from Genesee, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
Yeah, traction will be an issue. Visibility obviously will be an issue if you're in the foothills. CDOT says its crews are on full snow shift ahead of the storm. They say warm pavement temperatures will likely turn the snow into heavy slush, especially in the I-70 mountain corridor. It also suspects I-25 between Denver and Monument to be challenging for drivers. CDOT is asking drivers to plan ahead, maybe to avoid travel altogether over the next 24 hours or so. Check your tire tread and your air pressure as well, and of course give the plows their space. Snow teams are also fully deployed out of DIA this morning. We just checked FlightAware. Right now 186 flights are canceled and 15 are delayed.
Xcel Energy also has crews ready to respond to any power outages if branches fall on power lines. Right now, we don't have any outages reported, but when that heavier snow comes down, it is expected to damage those trees that have already leafed. You can report an outage to Xcel by texting OUT to 98936. You can also call the 800 number on your screen, or you can report on Xcel's website. And not just trees, what about all those flowers that were supposed to be safe after Mother's Day? Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us now. You talked to a garden expert about that, Veronica.
I did, and here's the good news this morning. If you didn't go out and cover those flowers or those really small trees last night, you do still have some time this morning as long as you put those shoes on, that rain jacket, and get out there really quick. The biggest advice that these experts had was make sure you get covered what is most important to you, and of course what costs more as well. Listen to their other biggest piece of advice.
If you have planted your tomatoes, your eggplant, bell peppers, those kinds of things are really sensitive to the frost, and you will have to cover them and protect them in some way. Perennials are a lot tougher. Their root system is underground, so you might lose some above ground flowers.
Now, Luann works with Tagawa Gardens. She says when there's a big temperature drop like the one we're feeling this morning, overprotecting, obviously that's always better than underprotecting those favorite plants of yours. Take a look at her best recommendations when it comes to covering those plants. If you have plants in pots, she recommends using something like a little wooden stake, a frost cover of some sort, and then plastic over that frost cover. She made it really clear you don't want to put that plastic directly on your plants themselves. If you have smaller flowers, maybe on the ground, a plastic bucket with a rock on top, even a pot of some sort covering the flowers, that'll do the job there. And then when it comes to protecting your trees from that potential heavier snow we're gonna get later on today, here's what she does. She takes a broom and then she just knocks off some of the snow, obviously on those lower branches first, and then she makes her way up higher and higher. Listen to why Luann says covering techniques are so important.
Whenever we're trying to cover something, we don't want to just cover it with something small to protect it from the snow, even though snow can be an issue. You want to create a little bubble, capture that warmth from the ground, and let that help warm this bubble that we're trying to create around your more tender plants.
And as you can probably imagine, it was a really busy week over at Tagawa Gardens as people tried to prepare for this temperature drop. One of the items that really was getting sold out during the day, not just yesterday, but days prior, were those frost covers. Luann said if you're interested in those, she recommends giving a call not only to Tagawa Gardens, but also other spots to see if they're still in stock. Usually this time of year, they're gone. So that was one of her other big pieces of advice. And of course, once again, make sure you cover what is your favorite and what costs the most. We're in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Yeah, all right, good advice. Thanks, Veronica. Of course, for some skiers, this might be great news, but be on alert for avalanches in the high country. The Avalanche Information Center says the risk in the northern mountains will rise to considerable on Saturday. That's the third highest threat level, and it means dangerous avalanche conditions. In the central mountains, the threat will rise to moderate. The avalanche threat in the southern mountains will stay low.
Yeah, maybe not the time to be exploring the backcountry right now. Stay with Denver 7, though, as we stay ahead of the storm. Download the Denver 7 Plus app to your streaming device and the 24/7 weather stream there to check the forecast whenever you need it.
Hey, after a strong start to the series, the pressure is on now for the Avs.
This one stung a little bit last night. The Avs fell behind to the Blues midway through Game 2 and just couldn't recover. They lost 4-1, so the series is now even at a game apiece.
We didn't have our jump tonight. Our execution was off. Just weren't feeling it. Just fighting it out there, and it's unfortunate, but it's 1-1. We get to go on the road and hopefully steal one there, hopefully two, and we got to forget about it and move on and get back to the way we can play.
Yeah, they got to get at least one back now. The next two games will be in St. Louis. The first is Saturday, and then they'll play again on Monday. Lisa.
It's only one game. Plenty more to come. Now at just about 5:10, it is a Denver 7 weather action day. Rain and snow already falling in some spots. I want to show you where it's coming down at this point. Northern Front Range Mountains, as you get in through parts of Larimer and Boulder counties, already seeing some pretty good snowfall. We have rain here along I-25, and then north of there, as you get closer to the Wyoming border, it's been mixing with some of that snow. Here in town, we're seeing a light mist. The roads are going to get wet. Showers will continue to develop. And there's snow on the way tonight. We're going to take a closer look at all of the alerts and those snowfall totals here in just a minute.
Quite a bit of snow up in the grass up in Cheyenne, as I was just looking at some of the cameras up there a minute ago. This is up in Boulder right now, where you can see the wet roadways, and it looks like some of the precipitation is at least halted for the moment. Lightly sprinkling downtown in Denver right now. The roads are just wet, and there's a big problem on 270 with a huge crash going across to Vasquez. I'll have details on all of that for you coming up in just a minute.
Higher mortgages are keeping people across the country from buying homes right now, but a new program in Denver is hoping to change that, gradually allowing people to own their own place.
And Film on the Rocks tickets go on sale today. Yeah, Red Rock's getting snow right now, but soon enough it'll be a great place to catch a movie. We'll break down some of this year's showings.